how do you convince someone that more is not better?
It's a difficult convincing, and I think that you have to live through it. I think that you have to begin to recognize that again, the more you want, the more you spend, the more you want. And I think that's a very difficult connection. What I found works for folks in my world is to focus outward. Again, I'm going to go back to those two choices, ourselves or others. When we look at ourselves, me, myself, all you're looking for is more for myself. When you begin to look outward and look around and look at those around you, I think the more you realize how blessed you are and how much those blessings can assist those around you as well.
Now, your book is called Spiritual Lessons from Wall Street,
Right.
A Personal Journey of Financial Security, Emotional Bankruptcy, and Spiritual Uncertainty. It's very transparent, very uniquely written, short sentences, sometimes 2 words per sentence. It keeps your head spinning actually following this book, but I read the whole thing. If you were to do a précis of your book, Spiritual Lessons from Wall Street, is the essential spiritual message the focus, giving before getting, or what would you say the spiritual message is?
Well, there's a couple of messages intertwined in here, and I think it starts with what I realized in basically October 2007. As it states here on the front cover of that book, I was financially secure, emotionally bankrupt, and spiritually uncertain. There was an obstacle between myself and my relationship with the Lord. And I think He asks us 2 things. Like, I'm a simple guy, as you said, simple sentences, very short. 2 things: love God and love others. And how is the best way to love God? Is by loving others. And again, He gives us these choices, ourselves or others. And I think He gives us 2 assets, time and money. I think what I realized on a mission field in Juarez, Mexico, in October '07, was that I sat between poverty and wealth. Again, I deal with the richest of the rich, over $1 billion of assets, and I'm sitting there searching for meaning in life in Juarez, Mexico, trying to figure out why I'm so miserable. It's because of my wants and desires. And I realized I sat between both of those. I sat between poverty and wealth, and I had to make a connection. And this book is that connection, at least for me. It's that connection between wealth and poverty. And the way I made that connection was to look outward, was to look outside of my own life and recognize that what I had was sufficient and I needed to share it.
Robin Lee Graham, the kid that National Geographic followed for 5 years as he circumnavigated, he left at 15 years of age. Maybe you are familiar with this story. Maybe you're too young to remember his story. It was a phenomenal story, and he wrote a book called Dove about it. And he ended up living in the backwoods of some mountainous area, homesteading, when he finally got back. But he said what he learned from his 5 years of sailing around the world was not how much he needed to get along, but how little he needed to get along. A very profound lesson. As I was reading your book, I was thinking about Robin Lee Graham and what he said in Dove. We've got 3 minutes. How has this, if you will, transformation as recent as 2007 impacted Brandon Pope, his wife, and his 2 kids in terms of your daily life, your daily priorities, the way you order things for your family?
We as a family focus on others, and we didn't always do that. Okay, I'm the first to say that I led a household where if there was money left over, we'd give. And I believe that I recognized that was wrong. That's not what God asked that we do. And I'm living proof today that it is in giving and serving of our time and our resources that's truly changed my life, changed my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my family, and more importantly, my relationship with the Lord. And what was interesting was I realized I left my faith at the door. I left my faith at the door of my office. I had it shoved under my desk for some other point in time, that there was no spiritual aspect to Wall Street. You know what? I was mistaken. And what I have realized is that I'm taking this faith, taking this transformation, as you say, and I'm dragging it into the office. I'm dragging it into the conversations I'm having with individuals of means. And I think it is worthwhile for those individuals to hear my transformation, because I think about a conversation I had with a client. Okay, we were talking about her $10 million at the beginning of 2009. $10 million. Now, it was 12, okay, but now it's 10. And I addressed her spending. I addressed her thinking about what she truly needed. And you know what the quote was back to me? I don't think I can make it on this. I need that money back. That is a frightening thing for a guy like me, particularly post-transformation. And so it is truly recognizing what's important.
So, we got a minute. Your clients, how do they respond to this new guy that you've become? They remember the old guy. Do they like the new guy?
They do like the new guy, and I appreciate you asking that, because I think it was more of a recognition that there was something inside me that needed to come out, and they're truly finding Brandon. They're truly hearing true advice.
Are they following your advice? Are they following your example?
They are.
They're all discovering the value of giving?
Not all of them, most of them are, and I think it's varying degrees. Again, you have to be willing to accept that, to open your heart and listen to that. But I'm just wonderfully blessed to have a chance to have those conversations with these clients, because again, it's very encouraging.
I was just in Israel last week. I saw another, as I've seen many, living there for 7 years, widow's mites. I'm reminded of Jesus' comment about the woman who gave the mite, the lowest of the low in terms of currency. And she put it in the offering, and he said to the Pharisees who were looking disdainfully on this, she gave more than you guys gave because she gave it all. I think that's the message I got from Spiritual Lessons from Wall Street. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Brandon Pope's his name. He's going to be producing some web-exclusive reports that you will find on 100 Huntley Street in the future. We're grateful for that, and we're looking forward to